어쨌든 시간은 흘러가네요. 드디어 셜록 홈즈 죄아벌 마지막 챕터가 왔습니다. 제가 알기로는 이 6번째 챕터가 마지막으로 알고 있거든요. 한번 들어가 봅시다. 반달 아래의 산책. 이게 마지막 챕터 이름인가?
Where are you going, Holmes? Have you been invited somewhere?
We have been invited, Watson.
We have. Where to?
To the Baker Street Irregulars' annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
A dinner? How could those street urchins afford anything like that?
걔들 글 쓸
I
줄
can't
아는구나.
understand your interest in them, Holmes. They're dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet.
Watson, you should be excited. It is a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
All right. We, the secret police of Baker Street, invite
제자가 좀
you,
틀리네.
Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson to our annual dinner. Menu, entree, frozen rat head salad. Is this a joke?
쥐물이
Not at
세거든.
all. Pray continue.
Main course, sow's udder in Danny Nutcracker's way. Sounds disgusting, Holmes. Hedgehog goulash. Street turnips in homemade juice. And it goes on.
Ah, I can hear them on the stairs now.
Well, we can't go there. We can't eat that.
Watson, you'll hurt the feelings of those poor children. We have to go.
We have to go.
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong? Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
Mr. Holmes is my brother Leighton. He's in a prison cell.
이중사대?
They say he's killed 2 men.
그게 뭐야?
You have to help us, Mr. Holmes.
아,
Because
두
I
명
know he
죽였다고?
didn't do it.
Where is he now?
From what I've heard, they took him to the yard and they gave him a good beating already. You know what they're like. They'll hang him. They won't look any further.
Holmes, we have to help him.
Well, and forget about the dinner? Wiggins, I'll take the case.
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be waiting for you at the crime scene. You'll be there, right? It's on Half Moon Street in Whitechapel.
Very
반달거리.
well.
자, 이렇게 아픈 문거리를 가야 되네요. 그 전에 한번 볼까요? 케인즈가 범위는 많은데 저랑 똑같은 선택을 제시한 비율은 거의 안 되네요. 자, 아픈 문거리 살인 사건을 해결하십시오. 아픈 문거리에서 사건 현장 조사하고 목격자와 대하십시오. 레이트 체포먼 신문. 좀 바뀐 게 있어.
Hello, Toby. All you need now is a shawl and a mop cap, and you could be Mrs. Hudson's younger sister.
마지막까지 바뀌는 게 없네. 저 망한 게 뭐 없어도 될 것 같은데.
Holmes, poor little Wiggins needs our help.
가자.
A map of...
저 지금 홈즈가 보고 있는 책 그림이 지금 모두 사건하고 똑같은 것 같은데.
Holmes, poor little Wiggins needs our help.
오늘 넓다. 셜록 홈즈하면서 이렇게 넓은 길을 돌아다니는 건 처음인 것 같네요. 이 길이 맞는 거야? 맞나 보네.
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now. Oh, Mr. Holmes. Is that
경찰은 안 해.
good evening, Constable...
Constable Marrow?
매너.
I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr. Holmes, back in '88. But then this is nothing like that case. With
명백하다.
this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Of course, Marrow. But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving. Who were the victims?
The two men here,
두 명이
both
총상.
shot. The stab fellow was Brian Vercotti, a well-known ruffian.
보석상.
The other, Kenneth Butler, a jeweller by trade.
You spoke of statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were two other witnesses who said they saw the killer Chapman. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there. And Polly Powell, a flower seller, who was over at the far side of the street.
So, Constable Marrow, I should be delighted to hear your testimony.
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street. That was the side that you came from.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the street, where we are standing now.
That is correct. But I saw the two victims slowly enter Half Moon Street, and then shortly after, the fireworks started. A few minutes after that, the fellow Chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street. I rushed over there and I saw the two dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by two police constables.
Did you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots.
폭죽
The
때문에.
fireworks were all over the sky. They were so loud I couldn't hear anything else.
What were the fireworks in honor of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday,
Aha.
Mr. Holmes.
Yes, I appear to have lost track of the days. It is May now, of course. Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon Street?
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
이상한 건 없었고.
Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It
가만
was
빼다고.
dark in the room.
Constable, your statements have been of great value to me.
Mr. Holmes, I had no doubt about this case, but now that you are here,
A fairly long pole with a forked end. A fairly... Brian Vercotti suffered
고통스럽게
greatly.
죽다.
What a terrible way to die. A tattoo from Westgate Prison. Vercotti must have done some time there.
문신 있고.
He tried to stop the bleeding with his hand.
즉사하진 않았다.
Death was not instant.
음.
The bullet penetrated.
길이 이쪽도 이어지네. 아, 나가는 길이군요. 여기도 나가는 길이고. 아까 제가 여기서 이렇게 한다 보네요. 이상. 보석상이었나?
The bullet struck his head. This man didn't stand a chance.
여기 뭐가 있는데?
A piece of wood that has stuck between the cobblestones. Let us take a closer look. This shard of wood is quite new.
키가 있고.
This is an ordinary key. I wonder what kind of door it opens.
좋아요. 키가 있고. 그리고 이 친구하고 이제 얘기를 한번 해봐야겠네.
Good evening, Mr. Turner.
I heard Constable Marrow reply to you as Mr. Holmes. Are you that detective gentleman? I've heard of you. And well, I know things. Things about this evening.
Excellent. Might we hear your story?
그 전에 기념패, 방한모, 참전 용사. 너무 어둡다. 절름발이. 없다고? 얼굴에 뭐가 있을 것 같은데. 뭐야, 왜 안 보여? 자, 잠깐만. 마구지니까 뭔가 있었어요. 야, 너무 어두워서 안 보인다.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
I was already in bed when the fireworks started. A few moments after, I clearly heard 2 gunshots from outside.
이 사람 총성 들었네.
Please continue.
I quickly got up and I grabbed the lamp from my nightstand and I rushed towards the window. I looked down and I saw 2 bodies. And there was a man with a gun who was standing nearby.
Where exactly?
Well, near this body.
Did he notice you?
I don't think so. He rushed towards Whitechapel Street without looking around.
Mr. Turner, did you see anyone else in the street?
No, I saw no one but that man, the murderer, the fellow they caught.
Were the 2 shots you heard consecutive?
Yes, there was a very short pause between them, and they sounded different somehow. It seemed to me that the second shot was louder than the first.
두 번째가
That
크다고.
is an interesting comment. Mr. Turner, what were your actions after you stepped up to the window?
I was afraid that the man with a gun might return, so I stayed close to the window till I saw the policeman coming in the Half Moon from Whitechapel. Then I walked out to tell them everything I saw.
You have helped us a great deal, Mr. Turner.
I'm so...
두 가지 총성과 2명의 피해자. 이게 아니라고? 선의 목격담. 2명의 피해자. 아, 맞네.
Mr. Turner, you have stated that you remained close by your window after the crime, is that correct?
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
That is very interesting, Mr. Turner. Constable Marrow stated that he did not see anyone at the window when he was running through Half Moon Street.
어떻게 된 거지?
Oh, well, I think Constable Marrow and me, we might have been distracted by the whistles and shouts coming from Whitechapel. We could have missed each other somehow. You understand what I mean? It was a bit of a stressful moment,
갑자기
to
이제
tell you the
수학을
truth, sir.
Allow me to form my own theories, Mr. Turner. Would you mind showing me the view that you had from your window?
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. Please, follow me.
Mr. Turner appears to live very modestly.
오케이.
This fire is dying out. It was last tended to over an hour ago.
1시간 전에.
The papers are almost entirely burned. I am unable to see what's written here. These words are illegible. The papers were thrown into the fire just a short while ago.
뭘 감추고 넣었을까? 있잖아 지금. 이거 아니
A perfect match. So, Mr. Turner broke his stick when it became stuck between the cobblestones.
가까이
He did not
갔네요.
mention that he was so near to the victims. The books on this shelf are in a mess. It looks as though Mr. Turner was trying to find something in a hurry here, a short while ago.
가까이 갔네.
Mr. Turner was roused from his bed by the sound of gunshots. This kitchen knife is quite sharp.
자네. 칼로 종이를 자른 거야?
There are pieces of shredded paper scattered over the table. His kitchen knife was used to cut the paper.
근데 왜 부엌칼로 종이를?
So, that's the view Mr. Turner had when he opened the window. The dead body of Kenneth Butler. Brian Vercotti's contorted corpse. Mr. Turner had a perfect view of the crime scene. He saw the bodies clearly, and Leighton Chapman standing over them.
메인 제품면이 없는데.
Anything else you would like to know, Mr. Holmes? Anything else you would like to know, Mr. Holmes?
신문을 먼저 했어야 됐나? 이거를 여기서 하지 말고. 이렇게 많아. 침대에서 일어났다. 창문을 열었다. 시체 근처 다 왔다. 무언가를 집어들었다. 지팡이가 부러졌다. 다음에 이런 것 같은데. 이때는 지팡이가 있었어. 이렇게 해서 보고 방이가 부서지고 와서 여기 두고 썰어가지고 이렇게.
So Mr. Turner used a book to hide an object that he found on Kenneth Butler's body. The question is, what did he find?
책이라. 그러면은 기름때.
I can see prints from greasy fingers upon the cover of this book. Let us take a closer look.
왜 기름때가 있을까?
Well now, what a find! A precious jewel concealed inside a book. A bracelet with a unique ram's head design, a distinctive feature of ancient Grecian artifacts, probably of the Hellenistic era.
다 가져가네요. 마지막 사건도 3명밖에 안 만나네요. 아, 저기 비싸니까 챙겼지 않았을까?
Mr. Turner, how would it be possible for a man of advanced years, such as yourself, to rush from his bed to the window in a matter of seconds, as you have stated?
Well, I'm able to move very quickly, despite my age. And when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes.
I highly doubt that, Mr. Turner. I observe that you suffer a severe limp due to your injured right leg. It would have taken at least 10 seconds for you to approach the window. That means you could have easily missed something or someone in Half Moon Street during that time.
You're right, Mr. Holmes. I could have missed something. But it did seem to me that everything happened so quickly. Oh, time can pull tricks on you.
And what of everything else that you told us? Mr. Turner, it is vital that we have your complete and true statement.
Mr. Holmes, I do assure you that the other things I said were most sincere.
팔찌.
Mr. Turner, you were not sincere with me. Not then and not now.
왜 이렇게 숨기니?
But Mr. Holmes,
This, Mr. Turner, does not look like anything that a poor man might possess. It is worth more than the home that you live in.
I can explain.
No, merely correct me if I am wrong. You saw Leighton Chapman through the window, but you also noticed a glittering object on the ground, this precious jewel. You walked down and took the bracelet from the body of Kenneth Butler, and when you heard the whistles, you hurried away. That broke your walking stick. It caught fast between the cobbles. Constable Marrow was unable to see you in the window, as you were climbing up the stairs on your way back to your flat. Upon returning home, you hid the precious jewel inside a book.
Mr. Holmes, please don't send me to prison. I didn't do anything
그냥
bad.
왠지
I'm just a
재수가
poor man. When I chanced upon the bracelet, I saw it as an opportunity to make a little money. I was desperate. I only took the bracelet, that's all, I swear.
You made a mistake by lying to me. But you are not a criminal. I believe that. Although I must return this bracelet to its rightful owner.
That's why it's better to stay at home at night.
자, 그러면 요 증거는 한번 살펴봐야 될 것 같고. 목격자 대화. 이거 아직 남았죠? 그 꽃집 여자. 집 주인은
Mr. Holmes, did you see my brother at Scotland Yard? Is he alright?
아직은 잘 모르겠네. 이분.
Mrs. Powell?
What do you want?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting the police with their investigation of the crime that took place this evening.
Well, I've already gave my testimony, but very well.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
Yes. I was selling my flowers as usual, and then the fireworks began, in honour of Queen Victoria. I enjoyed those. But then, all of a sudden, a young lad ran out of Half Moon Street and
젊은이가
stopped just by me.
총을 든
He had a gun
상태.
in his hand. He was like a ghost, and all covered in blood. It was dark, but I could see him, because of the flashes from the fireworks.
And then?
I screamed as loud as I could. I knew that a policeman should be on duty in the vicinity. He had no time to
오케이,
escape.
안녕하세요.
Two
주말
constables
잘
got him.
보내고 계십니까?
Then another constable came
저는
out
셜록
from the very
홈즈
same
마지막
street,
챕터
and I
하고
heard him
있습니다.
talking of a horrible murder.
Mrs. Powell, did you hear the gunshots?
I'm not sure. You know,
못 들었고.
what with the fireworks?
아니 근데 왜 아까 그 남자만
Did you
들었지?
see anyone else leaving Half Moon Street prior to or at the time of the crime?
No, sir, I did not. Even with all the fireworks, I was very attentive, as I'm always on the lookout for customers.
My thanks to you, Mrs. Powell.
또 다른 경관이 뛰쳐나왔다. 경관 2명, 그럼 경관이 3명? 경관이 3명이야? 좋아요. 그럼 일단 런던 갑시다. 런던 가면서 생각해보자. 2명이 피해자. 관계없네요.
Mr. Holmes, whatever brings you here so late at night?
I'm interested in the case of young Leighton Chapman. He was arrested earlier this evening and accused of a double murder.
I beg your pardon? That case is quite clear to the police. Or are there any new facts that we don't know about?
Who knows, Inspector?
Look, you are free to investigate, of course, Mr. Holmes. Chapman was arrested with a revolver
유치장에
in his
있고
possession, which you can
증거
find in
보관실에
the
있고
evidence room. The suspect himself is in
가자.
custody.
Did you find anything else on his person?
A few personal belongings. Nothing particular, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Lestrade.
그러면은 일단 증거 보관실이 여기였나? 여기죠. 아니,
So this is the
총이잖아.
gun that Leighton was holding when he was caught by the police. It is a Webley revolver, a reliable weapon.
Reliable rep.
It seems as though the shells were not removed from the cylinder.
한 발 썼네. 2발 써야 되는 거 아니야? 두 발 썼네요.
2 out of the 6 shells have been fired. There were 2 shots. These cigarettes are filled with cheap tobacco. Nothing interesting. A cheap watch, bought with his own money, no doubt.
여기서 총알이 발산되었고요. 동시격발, 사격지죠. 세발탄. 동시격발, 왜 동시 격발이라고 생각하는 거지? 두 번 들렸으니까? 이거 가지고는 지금 뭐 할 수 있는 게 없을 것 같은데. 좋아. 그럼 얘기를 나눠보자.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Good evening, Mr. Chapman.
Who are you? I've got nothing to say. It's all a mistake.
얘가 위기스 형이야?
Calm down, Leighton. I have come here to help you. To find out if you truly are innocent, as your younger brother Wiggins has told me.
My brother? You know him? Then that means you're...
Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, blimey. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell you everything.
좋아요. 모니터 없고요. 아, 다였지. 어? 전과 기록이 있고.
Good. Tell me your account of what happened.
I left my work and I hurried up to see the fireworks in Whitechapel. I was late, so I decided to cut through Half Moon Street. I saw the first fireworks light up in the sky. I bumped into a constable on a corner before entering Half Moon. Then suddenly, what with all the firework flare, I saw two men. They were both lying flat in the middle of the street. I stopped where I was.
그 얘는 이제
I
목격자에
thought
가까운
about turning
거죠.
back to the police, but as I was thinking of that, I saw a third person.
어?
He was leaning over the building that was furthest
시체에서
from me.
배운 점.
The second I saw him, he raised his head and he stared at me. In a flash, I saw his gun, but he made a dash for it instead and he escaped through Whitechapel Street.
So you might still have had time to return to the constable.
I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, I approached the bodies just to see if they were still alive. I saw that one had blood pumping out of his stomach. He was dying. It was horrible. The second one was already dead. He had a hole in his head.
한
He
명
was holding
복주야,
a
한
gun in
명은
his hand,
죽었고.
though. I took it. And then I followed the third man.
총이 두 발 있었구나. 아, 두 장 있었구나.
Interesting. Pray, continue.
I turned a corner and I saw the man standing in the middle of the street. He seemed to be in some sort of panic. And then, Mr. Holmes, something strange happened. I told the police and they laughed at what I said, but I swear to you, my words are true. I started running towards him. But then I was blinded by a flash.
성광탄.
It was so bright that I hardly saw anything for a good dozen seconds. But I kept running forward. As I arrived in Whitechapel, I heard a woman screaming. And then I was caught by the police. But there wasn't a trace of that man.
남자가 갑자기
Of course, then they
살렸네.
found a gun and all that blood. I couldn't see the murderer escaping and all that mess. Perhaps I was still half blinded at that moment.
A thrilling account, my young man. Leighton, are you able to describe the person whom you saw standing in Half Moon Street?
Well, I wasn't able to see his face at all. It was too dark. And he was too far away. I could see his silhouette.
And what about that?
Nothing so special. He was wearing a jacket. He was quite average in size and his weight.
I see. Was there anything else that struck you at the time?
No. But perhaps it's strange, but
발소리가
couldn't
들리지
hear the
않았다.
sound of his footsteps as he was running away. Perhaps it was because of the fireworks or the surprise of me seeing him.
Leighton, I confess I am puzzled. Why should a young lad like you take a gun from the hands of a dead man and set off in pursuit of a probable killer?
I know. I keep wondering.
아니야.
But at the time,
같은
it was like a
같은
reflex.
수감자여서 관계가
A
있었긴 있었어.
criminal ought to be arrested, and he was armed.
You were willing to risk your life. That was a little foolish, unless you wanted revenge.
No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid.
I'm sure that you were, but I believe that you may have recognized one of the victims, Brian Vercotti. You knew that gentleman well, did you not?
However could you know that?
조사수감
You
되잖아.
have a typical tattoo of the Watergate Brotherhood upon your hand. I observed exactly the same mark upon Mr. Vercotti. You came to know him from your sharing a past prison sentence. Am I correct, Mr. Chapman?
God. You're right, Mr. Holmes.
좀 더 자세하게 얘기해봐.
Would you tell me a little about Brian Vercotti?
We were convicted for a robbery.
강도.
Once in prison, both of us joined one of these fraternities. During that year, we tried to help each other out, you know?
You were quite young then, I believe.
Yes, Mr. Holmes, we were. We'd only stolen a pound of meat. After we were released, and when I saw what my little brother had become, I decided to work towards living an honest life.
And Vercotti?
He had a hard time. His sister had died in a Whitechapel dispensary while he was in prison. He had no family anymore. Our paths split. He fell back into crime.
So you lost him?
Yes. And for around 2 years, I heard
근데
no news of him
갑자기
at all.
We shall see you soon, young man.
근데 갑자기 여기서 만났다. 화면 빼고 일단 맞는 사람 다 맞았네요. 종업원으로 일하고 있고. 좀 더 단수해볼까요? 명백한 증거. 이중살해. 일단 한번 볼까요? 왜냐하면 어제는 보니까 시간이 지나면서 어떤 거는 결론을 못 보더라고요. 아, 이거 왜 나왔어? 알버트 돈. 쟤는 아직도 보자. 이런 팔찌면은 이거는 의미 있지 않을까? 그리스 시대.
Here it is. I need to continue my research in my archives.
또 찾아야 돼. 이틀 내내 다섯 냐 1885년 대형 박물관에 그레스퍼드 미투 전시를 수행 중이던 그 시대 공대를 도난하는 사건이 발생했다. 케이스 버틀러는 역사적인 미술품을 자신이 경영하는 첫 시가의 전당포에 판매한 사람이었다는 사실을 경찰국에 제보. 윈스트 폴리아는 도둑을 건거 그 시대의 보물을 운송하던 마구가 확인. 선 얻지 않고 있고, 도둑한테 훔쳤는걸? 케이스 버틀러가 제보했는데? 제보했는 놈이 갖고 있지? 그리 짠 건가?
One of the victims, Kenneth Butler, was involved in the story of the stolen Hellenistic treasures. A visit to his pawn shop should tell me more.
아, 전당포. 지금 알 게 없겠죠. 잠깐 볼까요?
Mr. Butler's key matches the lock perfectly. A flare pistol. Perhaps it was pawned by a destitute sailor. A flare. The ram's heads. This necklace belongs to the 5 Rams of Mittelin collection. Interesting. That means that Kenneth Butler owned a part of this collection all this time, 10 years after the theft. It looks as though Mr. Butler kept a careful record of his operations. You committed a terrible crime, Leighton Chapman. You killed 2 people with the intention of obtaining a set of valuable antiques.
What? That's a mistake. I didn't do it.
However, your brother Wiggins came to me. He needs you as much as you need him. I have faith that you will not err again, so I have decided that you shall avoid a harsher fate.
Mr. Holmes has convinced me to ease your sentence, but you'll still be imprisoned, lad.
Mr. Holmes! But you promised to save him!
Crampons and a sharp ice axe would only be brought here by a mountaineer.
What's up with you, lad? What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for my brother to be released.
Your brother?
The one that you caught, beat up and imprisoned.
Ah, the murderer.
He ain't killed no one, copper.
Watch your mouth, lad, else you'll be joining that worthless brother of yours. It would be my pleasure to assist you with your investigation, Mr. Holmes.
The bullet. He tried to stop. I am unable to see any higher. I need to find something to lift my lamp. This should be useful. Nothing interesting here.
Mr. Holmes, did you see my brother at Scotland Yard? Is he all right?
This is most definitely a bullet hole. The brick cracks are fresh. Watson, there was a third shot fired in this street.
It would be my pleasure to assist you with your investigation, Mr. Holmes.
Constable Marrow, I would value your assistance in this investigation.
It would be my pleasure, Mr. Holmes.
I would like to make sure that there are no places in Half Moon Street where a man could hide while you were running through it with your lamp.
All right, Mr. Holmes, what should I do?
Take your lamp and start walking, just as you did before, and try to find me.
Understood. I can see you very well, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to hide.
No, this is not how I walked at the time of the crime. I was more attentive. Let's start over again. Here you are, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to hide.
No, this... Mr. Holmes, it wasn't difficult to find you at all.
It is obvious now. No one could escape Constable Marrow's lamp while hiding in the street. These tools are exactly what I need to climb the wall. This is exactly what we need in order to imitate the flash of the fireworks.
Why are you looking at me all the time like that?
I'm just watching you, lad. I never know what to expect from people like you.
People like me?
Yes, street beggars and thieves.
I ain't a thief.
Oh, no? Then where did you get whatever it is that you're gnawing on? I very much doubt that you bought it.
What ain't seen can't hardly be stolen.
Constable Marrow, Watson, I would like to perform another kind of reenactment with your help.
I'm listening, Mr. Holmes.
I want to check if Leighton's testimony can be trusted. If someone could vanish into thin air at a specific moment.
But Holmes, I don't see how.
I am going to be the mysterious gentleman whom Leighton followed. I will stand exactly where he saw him before he was blinded by the flash. Watson, you will be Leighton. When I fire the signal flare, you should start to chase me.
I understand, Holmes.
You, Constable Marrow, just play your part and do exactly as you did. Just, please, wait 5 seconds after the signal flare. I doubt that Polly Powell would have screamed any earlier.
As you say, Mr. Holmes.
Let us begin then. Catch me if you can. This wall is cast in shadow. It would be difficult to see anyone scaling it.
I can barely see anything. Holmes? Are you there?
I should try climbing faster.
I can barely see anything. Holmes? Are you there? Where is he? My God, a man can't just disappear like that. Holmes? Holmes? Where are you?
I cannot see you, Mr. Holmes. Dr. Watson, it seems that Mr. Holmes has disappeared.
Don't worry, gentlemen, I am up here, above your heads.
How on earth did you get up there, Holmes?
I am using crampons and a climbing axe, although the person we are looking for did not leave any traces of such tools. Constable, is there any way to get to the top of this building?
Yes, Mr. Holmes, I can show you. The door to the building can be found from Whitechapel Street.
Gentlemen, I am on my way down.
This is the back door of the building with the attic floor that you required, Mr. Holmes.
These shards of glass are from the window above. Someone broke through the window to get inside the attic, but in his haste he ripped his jacket. A cluster of thick black threads. They're unusually strong. I should examine them under the microscope. We can conclude that the person whom Leighton saw climbed up the wall, broke into the attic window, and escaped through the hatch. Let us take a closer look. It is not a thread, but a hair. I very much doubt that it is human. I need to compare this sample with a human hair and a horse hair. A shaving brush is usually made from horsehair. Watson, could you please pass me your shaving brush?
Here you are.
Watson, look, what's outside the window?
Well, I don't see anything. Ouch! Holmes!
Oh, don't make such a fuss. One little hair. Human hair is significantly thinner than the black sample. The horse hair is thinner than the hair that we found. So, this black hair belongs to an animal, and it is larger than a horse. A hair from a large and exotic animal. Wiggins is currently at...
Wiggins, my lad, what are you doing here? You'd best be leaving and be quick about it.
I've done nothing wrong. You'd learn more by watching Mr. Holmes. He knows exactly what he's doing. Not like you.
Oi, watch your tongue.
가까워지면 뭐 계속 혼자 떠들고 있었군요. 아, 얘기 많이 하고 있었는데 언제부터 그저 있었지?
It would be my pleasure.
위기에서 한번 불러봅시다.
Mr. Holmes?
We have good news for you, Wiggins. The investigation has proven very interesting so far.
저렇게 얘기해야 열심히 썼겠죠. 실제로 맞고.
Your brother's innocence.
I knew it, Mr. Holmes.
But for now, Wiggins, we need your help.
Anything you like, Gov.
그렇지.
I need you to locate a circus.
갑자기 유랑극단으로 저렇게
It needs to have disposed of at least one
동물
exotic
그런 거 데리고 있어서 그런가?
a very large one.
You can count on me, Mr. Holmes.
코끼리 같은 거? 갑자기 유랑극단 고객사가 야, 드디어 아침이네요.
I do hope that those children don't get into trouble, Holmes.
자기 형이니까
Don't
열심히 할
worry,
거야.
Watson. I predict some news in 7 seconds.
Mr. Holmes, we found it. Here it is.
역시 대단하구만. 고기네 진짜.
And this is a young Indian elephant, the highlight of the show. Duval Brothers, a
Duval.
well-known travelling circus that is currently stopped in London. I believe that is exactly the type of circus we are looking for. I'll pay it a visit.
다 없어지고 요양극단 벽보.
Aye, you! Stop right there.
Good morning, sir. Pardon me, but why am I not allowed to walk around here?
Because it's private.
아하.
Well, I only wanted to meet the artistes.
Hmm? You're wanting to apply for... Nah. You
자물쇠
don't
전문가?
look like the type of artistic lockpicker that we're looking for.
You might be surprised.
What? Nah. I don't think so. Clear off. You're a bit slow to catch on, eh? Get lost.
아하. 처음부터 변장을 갈걸. 이거 때문에 로딩 화면을 두 번 더 봐야 되잖아요. 진짜. 마템 좀 맞나? 마지막까지 망원경은 아무런 도움이 안 되네요.
Hello, Toby. All you need now is a shawl and a mop cap, and you could be Mrs. Hudson's younger sister.
보자, 유랑극단이라. 농구극장, 강도극장. 강도극장일까? 옷이 다 되네요. 좋았어. 어우야. 오. 우상한 털과 지저분한 옷까지 신을 주는 어떻게 또 딱 했네? 제가 안 보고 있는데.
I'd better wear a shabby hat.
이 모자는 안 되는 모양이네. 정도 되지 않았을까? 딱 그러네 보이는데.
Stay where you are. What are you doing here, and where is Sherlock Holmes?
Calm down, Watson. Take deep breaths now. It's me.
Oh, thank God, Holmes. I can't get used to your disguises.
Thank you, Watson. That means I am ready to go. It's all right, Watson.
Holmes, I won't be able to join you. I promised to visit a patient today.
아 그래?
It's all right, Watson. I think that I can handle this alone.
Who are you? What's your name?
My name is Nigel. I'm here to open the locks.
Talented, eh? Let's see. Go inside the marquee and show yourself to Charles Foley. And I'd highly advise you not to trick him. Got that?
I've got it.
Charles Foley is inside the marquee.
가기 전에 최대한 정보를 많이 모아서 들어가야겠죠? 근데 밖에는 정보를 모을 게 없네요.
So, everything is here just as you asked. And what about the money? Some of the barrels are wet. Transportation issues, it couldn't be helped. Whatever. We'll be here after midnight to pick up the supplies. I want to be paid first. No. You'll be paid after we make the transfer, as I said. Right? I hope that no one saw you. The police are on the lookout. Of course not. I'm a professional. Glad to hear it. Be ready for tonight then.
우선 뭔가 따뜻하지 않은 애라는 건 알겠어.
That's a picture of a contemporary gentleman wearing a Robin Hood hat. Interesting. From lambs into lions. Those are words of encouragement and defiance. This poster was clearly made to fire up rebellion amongst the people.
혁명을 일으키는 집단인가?
This printing press is old, but still quite capable of printing hundreds of pages per day. There are enough posters to paste across half of London's walls.
화약?
This wooden barrel is damaged. It is difficult to say what is inside. There is a spot on this barrel that was intentionally painted out. The crest of the Honourable Artillery Company. Could it be gunpowder? I need to be sure. Judging by the fractions and the scent, I can confirm that it is, in fact, gunpowder. The
화약통이네요.
barrels are roughly clustered. It seems as though they were brought here in a hurry. Powder kegs, a printing press, and a great many blank papers. All of this was stolen by the merry men quite recently. And these poster samples. I am quite sure it is not a coincidence.
이거
The
형이
merry
얘기하던
men are
그 집단이잖아.
planning some sort of sabotage.
정부.
Stop right here. Who are you?
Are you Charles Foley?
Maybe.
They say that I can open any door.
Do they now? We'll see that lock near the chains on the table over there. Open that.
귀걸이에 뭔가 있을 것 같았었는데. 열쇠, 안전금고, 금고가 있고, 최근에 입은 부상, 권총, 극악무도, 전시품, 이 녀석이 훔쳐갔고요. 도전과제 달성, 매성 없는 존.
Are you still temporary with it?
자물쇠를 열어라. 이거죠. 자, 일단 바깥을 맞추고 아, 이게 이렇게 움직이는구나. 여기서 아니, 힌트가 너무 적은데. 아, 네 번째 게 있었구나. 이런 얘기하다 다시. 자, 그럼 다시 합시다. 자, 일단 여기서 여던데.
I need to find out.
이게 다가 아니야? 문을 열잖아.
Ah, well, they're right. What's your name?
Nigel Shirley, from York.
Ah, Nigel from York. Never heard anything about you. How'd you hear about me?
상황 관한 얘기. 뭐 해야 되냐? 빈센트 폴리는 10년에 수감되었다. 빈센트 폴리고 얘가 찰스 폴리면 형제 아닌가 보네.
It's a long story. I met your brother, Vincent the Butcher Foley, in prison. He told me all about his betrayal and all about you. Before I was released, he told me that you might find a job for me one day and pay me some money for me craft.
Well, he died 7 days ago in prison.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's all right. The traitor has paid the blood price for it. And you'll do the job anyway, because I need a talented lockpicker. I know just where to search for his legacy.
It's all about the Hellenistic treasures, isn't it?
Osh, you fool. Now, listen up. You'll come with us tonight, and you better mind yourself.
Us? Wait, who's coming then?
Billy, Jack and me.
And what will I get for that?
We'll share the loot. The one you seem to know about.
Right.
Wait for us at the abandoned manor house on the corner of Ladbroke Grove and Kensington Park Road at midnight.
Deal.
형을 부는 게 낫지 않을까?
Here I am at the manor. Somewhere inside it are the Hellenistic treasures.
자전거 빨리 왔네요.
This lock is quite old. It shouldn't be much of a challenge.
자, 일단 전체 회전을 시켜서 선을 잡고 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 네 개구만. 선이 두 개잖아. 아, 이거 왔다 갔다 하는군요. 그럼 선 이거밖에 없고요. 이렇게 돼야겠네. 얘는 이렇게, 잠깐만. 좀 더 쉬운 거 없니? 미치겠다. 이렇게 하면 저기가 안 맞아. 야야야, 잠깐만. 기준점부터 다 터지잖아. 이거 말고는 맞는 게 없는 것 같은데. 그럼 얘가 문제구만.
I need to find where the safe is hidden and lockpick it. This cupboard is an absolute mess. It seems as though this cupboard...
No.
So, that's the lock I must open tonight. Let me see.
이 자물쇠는 그냥 자물쇠하고는 다르겠죠 하고 얘기하려 했었는데 그냥 자물쇠하고 똑같네요. 좋습니다. 한 개, 두 개, 세 개, 네 개. 좋아. 이렇게 한 개 있고. 안 맞다. 여기가 이거하고 안 맞는 거 아니야? 야, 맞춰야 하는 게 또 있네. 응? 저기는 두 개가 있고요. 한 개, 두 개, 제 끝에 한 개, 두 개가 있고. 아, 여기도 두 개가 있네. 근데 애초에 이거랑은 잘 안 맞는데. 아, 이게 안 맞는 것도 있나 보다. 톤이 다 맞는 게 아니고 그런 것 같네. 얘만 어떻게 이제 좀 돌려보면 될 것 같은데. 맞는 손과 맞는 손이 섞여 있네.
What a surprise. I recall that precious key around Foley's neck. It might prove a decent fit. I suppose they hired me to only open the first lock. Let us wait for the thieves, trap them, and find out. Let us check the thieves' possible escape routes in the event that they are caught off guard by the police from the front door. What a surprise. What a...
한번 도둑을 찾아봅시다.
The ground floor window is a perfect way to escape the police. This works very well. No one will escape through this window now.
아, 도망갈 길 전부 막는구나.
This door is a perfect means of escape in an emergency.
그러면은 이 문에도 뭔가
A solid rope. A solid. This door leads to a kitchen, which holds the shortest route to the back door. I
이거를
wonder what this old chandelier is doing on the floor. It looks as though it was poorly attached. I suppose that the thieves already tried to open the lock with this formidable hammer, but they were unsuccessful.
좀 큰 거고.
The thieves
전부는 없고 2층은
Although this window is high above the ground, it would be possible for one of the thieves to attempt to use it for their escape. This should be useful.
문 앞에 깔아두고. 아닌가?
One step on. I should walk carefully. Any thief who finds his way upstairs will roll down very quickly.
오케이. 두 군데는 막았고.
This chair. This should.
이 문은 어때?
This door is a perfect means of escape in an I suppose that I want.
중단?
Oh, that's a lovely old carpet.
이 요주의 물건들을 이용해서 애들이 못 오게 막아놔야겠는데. 여긴 사과자가 없나? 사과자가 없니?
The thieves won't attempt to escape through the front door if the police are right behind it.
쪽문이 있네.
This hatch leads... There is no ladder. If anyone falls here, he will need assistance to get out. The door is now blocked. The door...
그럼 나도 이렇게 가야 되잖아.
I suppose... I wonder what this... I suppose...
저 문이 문제인데 융단을 깔아도 되지 않나?
This should...
이걸 가져가서 융단을 깔아놓으면 애들 빠질 거 아니야.
Now, it's not an open hatch. Just I should walk carefully. Now, if a thief runs through the kitchen, he'll pay a surprise visit to the cellar. The door... This should...
이걸 가지고 저기 달아주자는 거지 다시. 장들리에는.
If anyone takes the hammer, the rope will uncoil and make the chandelier fall.
창문을 깨려고 망치를 들면 장들리에가 떨어질 테다.
If he runs through the dining room and takes a sledgehammer to force open the door, the chandelier will knock him down. The traps for my circus companions are all prepared. I can leave now. But I'll
귀신
return
들린
later
저택.
with Charles Foley and his companions.
근데 왜 도전과제 이름이 귀신 들린 저택이야?
Police! Police!
사망하냐?
Stop where you are!
Where are they?
Trapped, Watson, with your assistance.
How so?
You sounded just like a real Bobby, my dear fellow. You startled them into the traps.
I did?
I assure you, Watson, it was quite an entertaining show. They will not escape the house.
한동안 아니고 영혼이 공장 못하는 거 아니야?
You scum!
And this is the pistol used for the murder in Half Moon Street.
How do you know about that?
Have you closed the case yet,
어?
Sherlock?
형이다.
Mycroft, what are you doing here? Did you follow me?
Sherlock, it may seem that I used you, but you should be pleased to know that you have served our queen well, in this instance. So now, let us catch the big fish. But this man is not one of the merry men?
No.
Then why exactly are we here, Sherlock?
This gentleman, Charles Foley, has been involved in a double murder, and the hunter of a set of valuable antiques, the Hellenistic treasures, which disappeared in a theft many years ago.
You're no better than the coppers.
Holmes, that is incredible. The Hellenistic treasures.
Indeed.
Nothing but trifles. Where are the merry men?
I don't know why you are asking me, Mycroft. They are
그러니까.
yours to find.
나한테 물어.
I'll see you soon, dear brother.
마음도 다 않고.
Don't move, you flimflammer.
What a beautiful collection of art. It was thought lost. The trap with the chandelier worked perfectly. Charles Foley has been knocked down.
Holmes, I had...
폴리의 복수. 어? 이게 다야? 갈 데도
Holmes,
없네?
I had no doubt that you would catch the thieves.
강도. 이거 같은데? 대충 봐도.
Charles Foley, you committed the crime of premeditated murder and of theft. You will be severely punished for your deeds.
You are pitiful. You Scotland Yard dog.
불안당은 관계가 없나?
Save your words for
근데
the
뭐 있긴
gallows.
있었는데 그전에.
I'm sure the journalists will love them. I shall leave now, Watson. Gentlemen, please take our friends here into custody.
Where are you going?
I have unfinished business. I'll see you at Baker Street.
베이커가에서 해결할 게 있다. 불안당이 그래도 한번 나왔으니까 단순한 백업핀 아닐 것 같은데.
Be careful with the lamps. Don't bring them too close to the barrels.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Who's there?
그 얘들.
That is of no importance. What matters is who you are and the plans that you have here.
So you can stop us from carrying them out?
Eventually, yes.
Hey, careful. You'll blow us all up.
I'm listening.
We are a group known as the Merry Men. But I suppose you knew that already. We are the men who've already lost everything of value in their lives. We are ruined shopkeepers. We are workers who were fired from their jobs. Honest people who were robbed. We were forced out from our homes and thrown onto the street. And all of this in the name of the so-called law. The laws that were set out by our government. The laws that make the commoners only more vulnerable and the wealthy more protected. We are not only from the British Empire. Some of us are from the New Lands, America, Australia, and we are many. But men we are still, and we are merry for that we stopped being afraid. For those powers that be had done their best to plant the fear inside our souls, and we accepted it so easily. The fear advised us to keep our heads bowed. It prevented us from fighting. Bankers and politicians, they own our lives, our work, our bread, and they push us to compete between each other, just to see who may serve them better. But in the end, they are the few, so they are weak. They are nothing without their titles. We should not fear them. Our so-called masters should fear us instead. The time has come for our group to stand tall. Our great and many merry men. We are going to blow up the London Stock Exchange. No lives shall be lost, but ownerships, debts, and property titles? They shall all be destroyed. They're only papers, after all. So many people will be freed over this night.
That is a radical step to take. What result do you truly expect?
Chaos. But soon people will understand that they are free, and that they
Yeah.
don't belong to anyone. They will be able to work for themselves, together, without letting the rulers dictate what to do, and finally justice will arise.
What you are intending to do is a crime. It is not justice.
How do you see justice, then? Kids go to prison for a loaf of dry bread. And how many lords do you see punished for stealing from their people, sending them to their deaths in mines or overseas to fight for land? Our masters wouldn't hear us. So now it's time to sing the song of the merry men. Will you let us do our duty?
죽이네요.
When people
계획
fight
없는
the order,
혼동은
they are too blind to see the consequences that throw society into chaos.
그래.
I shall stop your actions, but not you. Run. Now!
혼돈을 일으키고 난 다음에 그나마 이렇게 돼 있으니까 범죄가 적당한 걸 인지를. 홈즈는 괜찮은겨? 괜찮네요.
So, you're interested in Russian literature now?
Quite, lately.
It is an interesting book. I remember a few lines.
Really? I tried reading it myself, but I had a hard time understanding it.
Yes, Doctor. It's about intelligence. Sherlock, I vaguely recall one of the lines. Sometimes it takes something more than intelligence to act intelligently. There were also a few words along the lines of pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence and a deep heart. Tell me, Doctor, does my brother show any signs of pain or suffering?
Not that I know of.
Because you see, Doctor, behind all of his masquerade, my brother does possess a deep heart. So deep that he does not recall where he places his love.
Well, I'm sure that...
His love and his duty that, in the first place, should be directed towards the Empire. For without it, we would be nothing. A country filled with uncivilized men.
And the Empire needs order and discipline. It has no room for chaos.
People who commit crimes, or at the very least intend them, deserve punishment, Sherlock. Without justice, there can be no civilization.
But we serve the truth, not justice.
Your truth, Doctor, that may prove immoral. Allowing people to terrorize London, destabilizing the whole empire.
Terrorize only the powers whom you serve, Mycroft. Not I, not Watson, not Mrs. Hudson, not Wiggins.
Sherlock, the merry men are to be stopped.
막아잖아.
Not by me. You created the merry men. Stop them yourself. Only make sure that you don't create 10 more merry men by arresting the one.
Good night, Dr. Watson.
Anything in the post, Watson? Any clients worthy of our attention?
Only a second reminder from Mrs. Hudson about our new neighbour. She urges you to remove your...
Oh, I don't care about that.
Holmes, the lady who will be moving in shortly has requested the use of our spare room to place all of her boxes.
Wait, what? A A lady.
아예 아니야? 결론은 맞긴 한데. 그쵸. 거의 뭐 이렇게 있겠지. 도전과제 달성. 명탐정을 추적하지 않는다. 죄 많은 황제. 자, 이렇게 셜록 홈즈 죄와벌 엔딩을 봤습니다. 추리 게임 치고는 셜록 홈즈가 워낙 뛰어나다 보니까 저희한테 알려주는 게 많았죠. 유저한테 알려주는 게 많아서 잘 진행했던 것 같아요. 이분은 그 챕터 4에 나왔던 그분인가? 발굴 현장이네. 챕터 3이었나? 그랬죠? 챕터 1. 그 이후에 이렇게 보여주는 것 같네. 굉장히 음악이 쓸쓸한 음악이다. 아까 그거였죠? 챕터 6. 창가에서 살인사건 지켜본 거. 이것도 내가 그거 아닌가? 챕터 4. 이거 철기였죠. 챕터 2. 재밌었어. 제가 엄청 많이 틀렸던 부분이기도 하고요. 계속 해야 돼. Crime and Punishment. 영화관인데 인성수치 자원봉사자. 뭘 할 수 있지? 임무도 다 받고. 일단 이게 끝인가봐요. 뭐 이렇게 찾아가는데 더 할 수 있는 게 없는 거 아니에요. 또 뭐 나오길래 되는 줄 알았는데. 오케이, 알겠습니다. 그러면 오늘 일단 여기까지 하고, 내일은 보니까 지금 유로트럭 시뮬레이터 이벤트 하고 있더라고요. 그래서 여러분들하고 같이 이벤트 볼까 싶습니다. 오랜만에 터트럭 나이트 한번 하겠네요. 좋습니다. 그럼 오늘 여기까지 하고 마치도록 하겠습니다. 여러분, 늦은 시간까지 시청 감사합니다.